Hi. Yeah, I've just been watching a lot of stuff these days here on Occupy Wall Street on YouTube. And one thing I've noticed about this whole idea, this revolution, this grassroots movement that started in New York, actually, it's all very contrived. And one thing I noticed is that their list of demands is almost identical to the bills that Obama wants to pass. And I've noticed a few things back earlier in the year that were sort of alluding to this, coming from the Democrats and former Vice President Al Gore, actually. He was calling for an American Spring. And the nature of this American Spring was to basically change and reform the system so that his green policies and his carbon tax could come through, and we would all be paying our carbon tax to the central bankers who aren't even part of this country. And I'd like to play you a little something here. This is actually uh, RT News, which is an online news venue, and they've actually grown pretty big with their RT America division. And this was back earlier in the year during the Egypt uprising, and just listen to this.
Way to do. Well, last night, speaking on the channel that he owns, Current TV, former Vice President Al Gore called for the U.S. to have an American Spring. To bring democracy back.
We need to have an American Spring. You know, the Arab Spring, the nonviolent part of it, isn't finished yet. But we need to have an American Spring, a kind of an American Tahrir Square, nonviolent change where people from the grassroots get involved again.
Al Gore stopped.
Now, I saw that back many months ago. This was back during the beginning of the Arab uprising, right? Before they even began calling it the Arab Spring. And it was a little bit fishy when you see these people coming out talking about revolutions and stuff like that. It's always something that's going to benefit them in the end. And he stands to make billions, hundreds of billions of dollars off of this carbon credit scheme. Excuse me. So, essentially, this whole thing going on down in Wall Street right now, and that has spread even to Canada here, Occupy Nova Scotia, which I probably will be attending very soon and asking some very tough questions to some of these anti-capitalists. If you want to remove capitalism, you are going to be playing yourself right into the banksters' hands. They hate capitalism. That's why they removed all of the checks and balances that would keep them from being able to destroy capitalism, creating monopolies, duopolies, oligopolies, and all of this stuff. It's not capitalism at all. We haven't had capitalism at least since the 80s. And you guys should actually read some textbooks once in a while before you go out and start protesting and making the rest of this truth movement look like a bunch of idiots. Because they haven't heard our side of the story yet. The people who have read these textbooks and understand that we have not had any kind of free market capitalism since the beginning of globalization. So, this is what's going on. I want everybody to inform these people of what is going on and realize that these cosmopolitan oligarchs are sparking this counter-revolution at this precise time of their choosing, and they want to use this to galvanize the masses and create their own global system of carbon credits. And that's going to be the new tax that you will basically be controlled by. Every facet of life involves carbon. In fact, we're actually, what is it, like 30% carbon? I forget how much the percentage is, but we're carbon-based life forms. So if we allow these cosmopolitan oligarchs who do not have a country because they are so rich they live everywhere, they have power everywhere, and they have a massive amount of wealth. There's a big gorilla in the corner of the room. We're going to let them control every facet of our life and pay a massive percentage of all of our worth that we generate with our labor directly to them. It goes in their pockets, just so they and their buddies can continue polluting the world, paying just a percentage as a fine, basically. And the rest of us, we're going to be on a new ration-based system controlled by centralized computers that are funded by this government, this worldwide neo-feudalistic sort of system. It's disgusting, and I really wish that a lot of you would go a little bit deeper down this rabbit hole and understand truly who your enemy is. Don't listen to Al Gore. He doesn't like you. He doesn't care about you. He wants your money. He wants your wealth. And he basically wants whatever the banksters want because he's just a big giant puppet of the Rothschild dynasty. Anyway, that's pretty much all I really have to say about that. It's October 9th, 2011, Sunday, and I believe it's Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving and wake the fuck up.